Have you guys ever met a unicorn doctor? Well, today you're about to, because in this episode of Real Talk with Holistic Docs, we decided to take it back and bring things full circle and talk a little bit about how we got here. So today we're going to be profiling Dr. Hoot, telling her origin story. So Dr. Hoot
Yes.
was affectionately known in medical school as the unicorn doctor,
That's right.
because she is just so unique. And so I'm really excited for you all to get to know her a little bit more today, because she is truly a unique person, a
Aw.
unicorn of a human being. And I know that I am blessed to know her, and I am just excited for you all to get to know her a little bit better too. So
It's so sweet.
without further ado, let's talk about Dr. Hoot's origin story. So, Dr. Hoot, just give us a little bit of information about your past, present, and future, and I will just kind of ask some questions along the way. So, how did you get
Okay.
here?
Okay. So I have thought about this a lot, and I think the very beginning was in sixth grade in science class, where we learned about genetics. And before that, I don't think I had any real pull towards anything except for maybe detective work. I really liked that kind of stuff. And then I found genetics, and I was like, I'm going to be a genetic engineer.
Mm.
Fast forward to high school, I realized I did not want to sit in a lab all day, and I actually wanted to deal with people. So that was around the time that you had to choose like your major and when you were applying to college and stuff. So I went pre-med, and then so the rest is history. I kind of just went through the pre-med program, applied to traditional medical schools because I didn't even know about naturopathic medical school at that point. I
Mhm.
don't know if you did, but I didn't know at all. I didn't get in originally. I took a gap year, studied a lot for the MCATs, and worked, I think. And then I got in. I did it for a year. I hated it. I absolutely couldn't. I just couldn't handle it. It was totally different than our school. And I did that for a whole year. And I don't even know how and why I did it for a whole year. But anyway, I quit that. And at that time, I was trying to figure out what to do. And I had a dear friend who introduced me to naturopathic medicine. This was like after I had even gone to original medical school. I still didn't know about it until
Mm.
after I quit. And then I applied, I interviewed, I got in, and I did it. And I met you and all my friends and all my people. Um, and so that is the origin in that kind of linear
In the
fashion.
medical school piece.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I have a question. And I was just noticing some similarities in our stories. So I also did the same thing. I thought I was going to go to
Mhm.
conventional medical school. I took the MCATs. I was all like ready to go down that route,
Mhm.
and ended up basically being introduced to naturopathic medicine at the 11th hour and totally changing everything.
Yeah.
So it is kind of interesting that there's a group of us within the ND world that have done that, have,
Yeah.
basically gone through some level of the conventional medical model, like taking the MCATs or enrolling in school and everything like that. Um, and I'm curious, like, do you think that doing that actually helped you to become a better naturopathic doctor?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Not only the schooling aspect, I'll get into the other parts of it in a bit, but seeing how they learn and what they learn and what more importantly what they don't learn
Mm,
makes me appreciate our medicine even more because I know
mm,
exactly
mhm.
what
What
they
the other option is.
yeah.
So,
And
what are some of the things, like the differences that you noticed?
so you know um how good of a community we had at school
Oh, yeah.
that just wasn't there, at least for me. For me personally, I didn't feel like I fit into the community of the allopathic medical students. It was a lot more pasty and dry
Hmm.
and regimented maybe, and I don't work well that way.
Mhm.
um and the other thing is they just don't learn anything about nutrition at all.
Mm.
Nothing. There was not a single lick of nutrition in the entire first year and then in the curriculum later on that I
Wow.
could see that talks about nutrition,
Wow.
which is, and then so this is a little bit of a side note, but I have patients who come to me and say, my doctor didn't agree with your recommendation for this herb or this supplement or this diet. And so then I have to turn around and say, well, they didn't study that. So
So
they
it makes sense that they may not agree because they
they don't
aren't
know about it.
educated enough to understand the
Yeah,
reasons why.
patients don't know that. How could they possibly know that? So
Yeah, and just to like give people a little bit of context, so we had in naturopathic medical school, we had a nutrition course every single quarter.
Every single quarter.
The entire time we were there.
Mm-hmm.
So we were constantly learning about nutrition. And when we say nutrition, we don't just mean like, oh, here's your macros, here's your carbs, fat, protein, and, now you're going to eat a Mediterranean diet or something like that. Yes, that's part of it. And we do talk about food choices and different styles of diets that can be used therapeutically. But when you talk about nutrients or nutrition, you're also talking about the nutrients that comprise the foods that you're eating, right? So the vitamins and the minerals. And what's really important about all those things is the fact that the vitamins and the minerals are what creates your biochemistry.
Right.
Right.
You cannot live without your vitamins and minerals.
Exactly. Exactly. So when people tell you that nutrition and diet doesn't matter, it's a load of crap because
Thank you.
Biochemistry is literally built off of those building blocks of vitamins, minerals, protein, fat, carbs, all that type of stuff is what creates all of the reactions inside of your body that make you who you are.
Yep. Your cells cannot function without the B's, the C's, the little nutrients, the charged particles that we call minerals that comprise all of your enzyme pieces. It's just impossible.
It's so important. It's so important. It's foundational, and it's something that you do every single day, multiple times a day.
Yeah.
So when you expand that out across a lifetime, what you eat, how you choose to eat, the things that you put into your body have the biggest impact on your life.
Thank you.
So
bam, mic drop.
Anywho.
Yeah, anyway.
Moving on.
Tangent.
So there's the school piece of everything.
That's the school piece.
But I know you also have your own health history. So tell us about that.
So these two things were kind of happening at the same time. I had the school piece, and while I was in college, I developed kind of what I would think now as being stress-induced hormonal issues and gut issues that like none of the specialists that I went to knew anything about. Nothing. I went to gynecologists, I went to PCPs, I went to endocrinologists, several of them, like really good ones, and they just wanted to throw me on the birth control pill. And I tried it for about 3 months, and I was like, fuck this shit, I'm not doing this. And that kind of, I think, at that point, I wanted to become an endocrinologist specifically. I was still in the pre-med route. And I wanted to become an endocrinologist because this stuff was so fascinating and interesting and deep. And so there was that layer. And then on top of that layer, when I discovered naturopathic medicine, of course, then I continued to be involved with hormones. But then I learned that hormones are involved with everything else, and everything is connected, and your gut health matters, and your brain health matters, and your stress matters, and sleep and everything. So this whole journey kind of was me figuring out myself a little bit. And through that process, learning a whole hell of a lot more than I ever thought I would. And so now I have all this information in my brains about not only hormones, but everything else that we need in order to be healthy and stave off disease. So that was that personal piece. And of course, it's always going to be ongoing because you don't just magically heal yourself overnight.
No. And you're constantly, your body is constantly in a state of flux. And so it's our job as, practitioners, and then also as human beings, to understand that and to know how to respond to that and adapt to those different things. And I think you hit something really important, which is kind of that, like, so naturopathic doctors, we don't have quote unquote specialties. We kind of have different lenses where we view things through. So I'm also super passionate about endocrinology. I just love it. And I think it's fascinating, but you can't consider endocrinology without considering everything else.
That's right.
So we might have one area that we really enjoy, like we might really enjoy hormones. But if you come and see a naturopathic doctor who focuses in endocrinology, that doesn't mean that's all you're working on.
No,
You're going to
no.
be working on the gut health. You're
Mhm.
going to be working on neurotransmitters. You're going to be working on lifestyle changes. You're going to be working on stress management. Like all of those things still matter.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and
It's
every
really
single ND sees things that way. We
right.
all see things as a whole.
Yeah. We're all, I think a special kind of person gets attracted to this medicine, and that
Yeah.
makes sense that we all kind of have the same general outlook on this.
Yeah,
It's so
absolutely.
important. I mean, these other physicians that I was shadowed and saw, they get it that everything's connected, but for some reason their methods are just not geared towards dealing with the whole body. Maybe they don't have time, they don't have the resources. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what it is, but it just seems to be like a certain type of training, breeds that. And when you all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? So
true. Yeah.
it makes sense and it all serves its purpose. But I think that we truly have something really special to offer as
Yeah.
naturopathic doctors.
Yeah.
So you went through all the school, you had your own health issues, you've
Yeah.
worked on fixing those and, gotten to where you are now. So after you graduated from medical school, what did you
Where
do?
did I
Where are
go?
you right now? Where did you go?
So I wanted to stay in Arizona, but for family reasons, basically, I had to move back to New Jersey. So I'm in New
Mhm,
Jersey right now.
mhm,
Um, so I always kind of thought that I didn't want my own business, didn't want my own practice, didn't want to deal with any of that. Guess what? I ended up in my own business and I love it. It is a little bit unique because I don't have to worry about any of the extra doctoring stuff for the most part. I just pay rent and I get to see my patients, and that's the end of that. Um, so I've learned a lot from having to start my own practice. Having everything be virtual is fabulous. Like your
mhm.
charts and everything is online. That's great. So if I ever need to pick up and go to the moon, I just pick up my laptop and go. Um, so yeah, I'm in New Jersey. I'm in an office called the Merchantville Medical Wellness Center with another naturopathic doctor who is amazing. I mean, this woman
Mm,
has a wealth of knowledge and has been such a great mentor to me. And other practitioners, we're getting an MD, we are getting an acupuncturist, we have a fitness trainer, we have a phlebotomist, and a facialist.
wow.
So yeah, it kind of so back in school, when I was in school, this was my dream, was to be a part of a facility that kind of had a little bit of everything and a lot of different styles of medical care going on, so that you could refer to one another and it would feel like a family to the
Mhm,
patient. So they
mhm.
would come to the office and everyone knows them and they can get whatever they need done, and we all kind of know what's going on with that person. So
Yeah.
um, that's where I'm at now, which is really awesome. I love it.
I love it. That's great. And honestly, that is the ideal situation, is being under one roof with a bunch of other
Yeah,
practitioners so that your patient could come in and know that everything they need is right there. They don't have to be running around a whole bunch of different clinics. Like it's all right there. I mean, that's integrative health at its best.
it
Hundred-
really is. And that piece that you just mentioned is really important. Patients hate having to go to 1,000 different places to get everything done.
I know I do.
Yeah,
I
me too.
personally
I
hate
agree
it.
with
Yeah.
that.
What nobody has time for that.
No,
Honestly.
right.
Nobody.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's so much more efficient to just come in and get everything that you need to get done. So
Exactly. So
uh,
what kind of patients are you seeing right now?
I see pretty much anything from, I'll see teens through the age of 100 and however many.
Mhm.
So I see the youngest patient I have is 24. Oldest patient I have is 84.
Wow.
Uh, yeah,
That's a
so
big range.
it is a big range. I don't
Yeah.
see pediatrics. I don't
Yeah.
do that. And I originally thought that I wouldn't want to do geriatrics, but it turns out that they need a lot of help and I have a
Mm,
lot of knowledge, so I'm happy to help.
mhm,
Um, because of the geriatrics community, actually, I've gotten into kidneys,
mhm,
nephrology, and that is something that I'm really passionate about right now. And I've done a lot of continuing education on it, and I
mm.
really enjoy treating it. Mostly what I'm talking about is chronic kidney disease.
Right.
And mostly what I've been seeing is stage 4, stage 5, not even the early stages. I don't know where the
Wow.
people are. If they could see me earlier, this is a PSA. If you have kidney disease that's before stage 4, please get seen by me or another naturopathic physician, because it's a lot harder to treat when it's late stage.
Yeah. And that same thing goes for a lot of, well, I'm just going to say
Every
all conditions. The
Yeah.
longer you wait, the harder it is to treat. So the
Yep.
earlier you start taking care of things, the earlier you start taking care of your health, even though it may not seem like it's a big deal right now. Again, expand
Yeah.
that out over several years. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, you've got a big deal on your hands.
Yeah. Right. And the kidneys are, there's 2 of them, plural, are particularly interesting because um, allopathically, really what they just do is maintain, and not even maintain, just give you drugs to keep you alive until you have to go on dialysis.
Mhm.
And the dialysis is kind of the end goal, essentially, for them. Whereas naturopathically, that's not the end goal. The end goal is to help your kidneys recover so you don't ever have to get dialysis. But
Right.
I don't know if enough people know about that. Certainly not in this area. Uh, so I get the end stage, and I
Mm.
work my little tail feather off to get them to not be
Mm.
on dialysis. So anyway, that was a tangent. I see everything. I see GI, I see kidneys, I see hormones, I see metabolism. I see a lot of people who want to lose weight. I would
Mhm.
say that was my number one. That's my number one thing. The number 2 thing would probably be acid reflux.
Mm. Mhm.
Everyone on this planet takes omeprazole, basically.
Mm.
Um, yeah, everything, anything and everything other than peds.
Yeah,
So
I'm not a peas person either. We have some amazing classmates who are really into
yeah,
peas. So
yeah,
every
let's
single
do that.
time I'm like, go to them. That's not my
Yeah,
thing.
not my thing.
Okay, so you're at Merchantville. It's Merchantville Wellness Center, right?
That's the wellness center. Yep.
In New Jersey right now.
Yep.
And you're an amazing clinic, seeing all kinds of people, just helping everyone, just doing a
hmm
great job.
hmm
Where do you see all this going? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Yeah, I thought about this a lot too. So part of this whole joint medical office vision that I have had has always just been to help people in my community.
Hmm.
I never wanted to be, I mean, I don't really like attention all that much. I even try to skip my birthday, you know that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
She
so
tries to hide her birthday from us.
yeah,
She
I
just
did
is
well.
quiet in hopes that we all forget, which is hilarious.
They didn't forget, in
We
case
never
y'all.
do.
Um, so I just really truly want to help people in my community. That's it. Whether that's my local community physically, whether that's people that I know who've referred patients to me, whether that's friends. That's it. I don't
Mhm.
want to be on a talk show ever. I don't want to write a book. I don't want to be on TV or like any of these famous doctors. Don't really care about that. I
Yeah,
just want to help real people,
right.
because when you change lives of these people, like, energy of the world shifts.
The
Like, I see
power of
it.
one, right?
Yeah,
One by
right.
one.
That one person has a family and has friends, and their relationships get impacted in a positive way, and the lives of the people around them gets improved. Why wouldn't I want
Ooh,
to do that?
Dr.
Right?
Who, you're hitting on something so important there, which is one of the reasons that, so taking care of your health is not just about you.
Oh,
A lot of people think that it's honestly come at it from a very selfish angle,
yeah,
where it's like, I just don't want to deal with this right now.
yeah,
But when you let these things elapse, when you let these health issues build up, you're depriving your family, you're depriving your community, and you're depriving the world
yeah,
of the special gifts that you have to offer.
yeah.
Because your
Definitely.
health is seriously, it's like we're going to come back to this a lot. Your health is foundational to your ability to be able to live purposefully,
Yeah,
to like have an impact on your community, to do all of these things in life. And if you don't take care of it, you're depriving the world of that.
yeah. Right. It's not just you.
Yeah,
Yes, your health matters to you, definitely, but it matters to everyone around you and everyone
absolutely.
you touch.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So that's the
So
goal, future.
that is the origin story of Dr. Hoot, otherwise known as the Unicorn Doctor. Where can people find you, Dr. Hoot?
Many places. Like I said, Merchantville Medical Wellness Center. If you want to travel to New Jersey, would not advise right now. Also, holisticdrhoot.com, Holistic Dr. Hoot on Facebook and Instagram, and on YouTube now. We have a channel, right?
Yes, we do. Our YouTube channel is called Real Talk with Holistic Docs.
That's right. And it's pink, bright pink.
And it's
My
bright
favorite.
pink. You can't miss it.
You can't miss it.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing with us today,
Of
Dr. Hoot.
course.
I love
Next week
hearing.
we talk about you, right?
Next week we talk about me. So make sure
Yeah.
to tune in because, well, I can't say that.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
Fantastic.
We're both really cool, guys. Just listen.
We are, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Dr.
Hannah.